Testing, hot outbound count, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready?
I'm all ready.
You on here? Come on, let's go inside and get started.
Dusty out in that hall?
Hey, get a load of butts over there.
Oh, would I like to melt you just once. Dusty out in that hall?
What's my temperature, Norton? 111. Oh, come on, let's get moving. Isn't there any lot here?
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
A 20% percentage.
And now, who is our next guest, please? Herb, here's our next guest.
Ed Norton. Ha ha! What's this?
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
If they ever institute a Nut of the Month Club, I've got a very good idea who's going to be January and February.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you brand new listeners of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal, Louis Fatts. And at that point, Louis would quote something.
I would say something
from the
from
one
show.
of the episodes, exactly. And welcome. This is our new episode 0, the series premiere that we're doing after 155 episodes. Yes. And this is for anybody who's checking us out for the first time. And before they start listening, if they decided to just start doing that, we would give them an idea of what the podcast is all about. And we'll just tell you right off the bat, the podcast starts off one way and it evolves.
Yes, evolved.
It evolved a lot. We started out as just two guys.
Evolution.
Yeah. We were just like two guys that were friends, and we were like, we're both huge fans of the show. Maybe we'll talk about it. And it's evolved into this thing. Oh, gosh. And we're not even sure. The only thing I'll tell you, if you start to binge it, or if you listen to 30 or 40 episodes, maybe you start from the beginning or start from the end and go backwards. The only thing I'll guarantee you is that you will start watching the show differently.
Yes.
And it's not like something we planned on.
No, we didn't, but it just evolved into that.
It turned into that
accidentally
for us and everybody else who listens.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And the show is us. We're all super fans of the show, and we get to talk about it the way you would talk about it when you're hanging out with your buddies at a diner, except we're just a little crazier, and we actually do bits and little things like that. There's so many things that we do. And what I'll tell you is right off the bat, after we get to about episode 80-something, we started doing something called the Full-Grown Nut of the Week.
Yes.
And we nominate one of the lunatics, usually from the Facebook group.
Yes, people comment on the Facebook group.
Yep.
You have preference.
Yes, exactly. And the more creative you are, the more, it's not our Facebook Honeymooners Podcast Facebook group it's fine if you just want to go up there and put a line from the show or a picture, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But we like people who are being creative. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. So what we do is we nominate a person every episode, and then they get to do an acceptance speech, and then we'll play that speech. We'll read that speech the next episode. There's a lot of things. So what we'll do is we're just going to go through some of the things that we do, what you can expect from this stuff. The first is Louis' observation, which is kind of the whole show. Yep. It's pretty much
like one of our first
bits. Yeah. And pretty much it's just what you think. Yeah. It's Louis would come up with an observation of something in an episode, and it's what we all do.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, did you ever notice that, Ralph did this? And
I mean, because after watching the same episode 500 times, you just want to look at something new, just to keep things
new and different,
and something.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
You'll hear that out. Just to keep it fresh,
yes,
so that you don't have to okay, it's the one where he's roller skating and they got
right,
all those cats wear.
Yeah,
you'll be looking at other things, even if you're looking around the room. We've noticed everything.
Yeah,
and it just keeps it fresh.
Yeah, and I think the best way to describe it is before we started doing this podcast, we were just like everybody else. We'd watch every episode 500 times.
That's all.
Now, this is how I always say it. It's like when you're watching an episode and Ralph is doing something, like he's ranting or he's going back and forth, instead of following the ball, so to speak. It's like football. When you really know football, you maybe won't follow the ball. You'll watch the tight end make a block, or you watch the offensive line. That's what we do.
Yep.
We start to look at what the other people in the scene are doing.
And we give credence to the secondary characters, the tertiary characters.
Absolutely.
Because they're important. They're important.
Are.
I mean, we all know the lines, and I mean, you're not going to wait for you're a blabbermouth. I mean, we know that.
Right.
But look at the other things.
Yeah.
And that's what this podcast has evolved into.
Yep.
And people really appreciate, and I think not that we're bragging, but I think we've opened a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah,
on how to
along with
watch
our
it.
O's, like along with our own,
Yeah.
we accidentally did that.
Yeah,
we weren't like, oh well, we made this podcast because we're so pompous and we knew it was like, no, we were two idiots that were just talking about it, and it evolved into this.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, like we used to, and we still do, flub of the week. Which, of course, there's only so many flubs.
So many flubs you could do. I mean, it's limited. It's like the 39 episodes.
Yeah.
You got a limit,
you
know?
Absolutely. We do something that's we don't do it a lot. The Many Faces of Ken Lynch. And that, of course, is the guy who plays a detective. And,
Trapped.
Thanks for nothing.
And everybody knows that line.
Everybody knows
that line.
And Louis does such a great impression of him, so we'll do once in a while, what would Ken Lynch be as one of the other characters?
Like if he was playing like Judy Connors or something.
Yeah.
Like something ridiculous.
Yes. Hey, Mrs. Crampton.
And it just turns out to be funny.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny to us. But
yeah. Another thing we would do is ad lib or not ad lib.
Yes.
We'll hear something. We'll be like, I wonder if that was an ad lib or not. And we'll discuss it. We'll throw it on the Facebook page. We'll do all that kind of stuff. There's something we haven't done in a while called Revisited.
Yeah.
Revisited.
And you'll know why it's revisited.
It's a cheap way of being able to do something we talked about already, and we could just talk about it again. It's fine. There's something relatively new that we just started called You Can Say That Again.
Say that again?
Which is basically from a Facebook group post. If we find a post that somebody did and there were a lot of really, really funny responses, we'll just go to that post and we'll just read some of the really funny responses and give everybody credit for it.
What's good about this podcast is you're a part of it.
100%.
You're a part of it because if you go on the Facebook group page, okay, you can comment and you will feel like you're part of it. Because me and Joe will reply to your, to your comments.
Absolutely.
And all the other nuts will reply to your comments. And it becomes a discussion. You're part of it. We want to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely.
We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear how you saw that. It may be totally different than the way we saw it, but that's fine. This is what we want. It's like this open discussion.
It's like, it sounds corny, but it's like a little family.
Oh, it is. It
turned
really
into that.
Is.
It's turned into a family. And we also now, when we're recording this, we're about to do our third annual Honeymooners podcast convention at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, which would be March 22nd. 2026. And hopefully we're going to do many more.
Yeah.
And, of course, Brian Carney is always there, and he brings his dad's hat and all that kind of stuff, and we have food, and it's a good time.
It's good. It's a real good time.
Some other things. This is one of my favorite things we get to do that involve you guys. It's something called Here's an Item.
Here's an item.
And we took that from when Ralph is going through the newspaper and, highways with Tibet. He's like, here's an item. And what we do is, it's just if you guys see something where you're like, oh, that's interesting, you email us, honeymoonerspodcast at AOL. And
aren't they ancient?
Aren't they ancient? Yeah.
We use AOL.
You'll understand.
You'll understand why.
You'll understand all these idiotic things that we're saying. And it's
idiotic things.
And it's a bit, again, it's something that it involves you guys. So we do here. So when you email us and you say, "Hey, here's an item," and you notice something, whatever it is, even if it's like, "Oh, I noticed that this the window didn't close," whatever it is, and that's your contribution to us and to the show. Yeah. And I have to reluctantly mention this. One of our executive members.
That's right. We have an executive committee of 5.
Next committee of 5. Me, Louis. I think I just said committee.
Okay. That would be now. That's a flub. As a flub of the week.
Flub of the week, exactly. So it's me, Louis, and then our regulars who are regular co-hosts are Michael Bruce, Ron Albanese, and Steve Franchi. And Ron Albanese one day was like, "Hey, I got this thing called a twos theory where he finds something that happened twice in the original 39." And I thought it was the worst possible thing we could have ever done. And it has turned into the biggest thing ever. It's bigger than Ralph on television.
It's the biggest thing I think. People are looking for it.
Yes. And it could be as simple as, hey, there were only 2 episodes that featured so-and-so.
So-and-so.
But then you get really into like, hey, there were 2 episodes where the light switch was over on the right-hand side of the door. And you'll find yourself and that's the thing. You find yourself watching it so much differently. And so much more intensely.
It just works.
It really
works.
It does.
And the thing, too, about Joe and myself, we've said this throughout the 6 years we've been doing this, that we are not Honeymooners snobs.
Not at all.
We know the show like you know the show. Okay, so we're not going to come over snobbish.
No.
We're
just funny. We're just funnier than you guys. That's all.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm a comic, and Louis is just a funny dude.
Just a jerk. And it just comes across better. I think people feel more comfortable with us.
Because we're not like these experts.
No.
I mean, they did ask us to be on the CW.
Yeah, that was just a little thing.
We got a little thing on national television
that was
back in November of 2025. But,
we don't want to break.
Karen Gibson, 33 Kaskaskia Street.
You'll understand what that's all about.
Of course. If you're as big of a Honeymooner fan as we probably think you are, you're already understanding
what's going on here.
Yeah. But those are some of the things that we do. Now, we always say the first dozen or so episodes, we were really trying to get our groove.
Yeah, we really didn't know where we were going with it. We were just talking about it. Like Joe said, like you're talking with your friends at a diner.
Yeah, but we would talk about the beginning, like, oh, was Ralph that good of a friend? Or, the finance thing, like, certain things about money and all that kind of stuff. But as we get into the 50s and 60s of the episode, like episode 50, 60, it really starts to evolve. And when we get to episode 80-something, we start doing the full-grown nut of the week. And there's all these idiotic intros. And you will love the introductions probably more than the podcast itself. So
we played a bit so we could hear the introductions.
Yes,
they're that good.
Exactly. Because my friend Dave Ingram, who's a metal rock singer out in the middle of Europe in Copenhagen, he's got this great voice, and he does most of the intros.
His voice comes from his toes. I just want that voice for like 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. So we hope you dive in.
Yeah.
However you do. And if you want, please email us. I check the email every couple of days, honeymoonerspodcast@AOL. Let us know if you checked out the episode, if you started listening. Some guys will email us and be like, we had a guy just recently emailed us, and he did all, at the time we were at 152 episodes, and he did it, and he binged it all in like a month and a half. So we wanted to call the hospital, see if he was okay.
He's now in Bismarck, North Dakota. That's where...
Yes, he's in room 317 with a mental... they're checking out his head. And
they'll find nothing.
Yeah, and they'll find nothing in there. So that is the crux of what you could expect. And the bigger the fan you are of the show, I think the more you're going to like it.
Yeah.
We have a thing called DEFCON 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. DEFCON 1 is somebody who knows about the show. They know Bang Zoom, blah, blah, blah. DEFCON 2 is somebody who's seen every episode. They know every episode. They don't know it by heart. And then there's DEFCON 3. And that's somebody like us who has seen every episode hundreds and hundreds of times.
And some people, when they listened to the podcast for the first time, they thought we were ripping it apart.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We're dissecting it.
We dissect
because we love it.
Because we love it.
It's out of love. It's not at. We're not doing this to like, hey, he did this wrong and he did that wrong. No, he did that wrong. We're laughing about it because we love that.
Love it.
We love it.
It's like roasting your friend.
Yes.
It's like it really is like we are roasting our good friend who is an awesome guy.
Yes.
And we just find little idiosyncrasies about him.
Yeah,
and
that's all it is. We just love it. We do it out of love.
100%.
We're not bringing it down in any way whatsoever.
Nope.
And it's just how we do it.
Yep.
That's how we do it.
Absolutely. So I think that should be enough for you guys.
Yeah.
So, and we played the actual intro, and this is the actual ending. So, please let us know when you found out about the show. How'd you find out about it? And did you binge it? Did you start from the latest episode, or did you start at 0 or 1?
Right.
And we really appreciate any type of communication because we like talking about you guys.
Yes.
We do.
You're part of it.
You really are.
Part of
because, and like Louis always says, the more we get from you, the less work I got to do. All right. So that is it. Episode 0, the series premiere, which is the second one we updated this. And I am Joe Conti. And for me and my pal Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.